Hello, this is Hippo Krampus. We're getting ready to commentate on the next Untitled Goose Game 80% Glitchless Tournament match, this time against Tasselfoot and Oerny. That is how you pronounce that name. My partner Shadow Mage will be here momentarily. He's a little bit delayed. I will take it until then. So I'm going to go ahead and, without further ado, start up the race. Or if Wolfman would rather do it, go for it at any time. Alright, and they should be off momentarily. Few quick notes here about our runners. Tasselfoot on the left is currently second place, has held the world record in the past, and his PR is currently 12 minutes and 51 seconds set yesterday. He's been here from the start of speedrunning this game, actually. So it should be interesting to see how he does here today. Oerny, you will not find him on speedrun.com, but we're still happy to see him here. And there they go. His PR is currently 15 minutes and 38 seconds. He's coming off.
Looks like I made it just in time.
And here is Shadow Mage, my co-commentator today.
Oh, how y'all doing? I apologize. I just got home, so.
No worries about that. We're all good.
Looks like you got. I don't think they did really introductions here, so we jump right into the commentary. All right. It's like looks like Tassel's got to wait a second for Willie to show up.
So there, you can get a few different forms of RNG there, some of them better than others, in terms of where Willie is located. Ideally, he would be right next to the sprinkler at the start, so he gets wet immediately. In this case, neither of them got it. In fact, Tass got a bit of the short end of the stick there, but he seems to be making up with manipulating Willie's movements.
Yeah, Willie's got about 8 or 9 different starting points, and so there's about maybe a 2 or 3 and a 30% chance that he's in the right place.
And here we can see that they're completing the next major part of the run, which is getting the rake in the lake, as Willie should be putting on his sun hat. We can see it popping up there now. We let those run simultaneously because it's faster and it gets him into his next cycle as soon as possible. We can also see here that they're trying to manipulate where Willie will be on what's called the bell return, which is the final part of the race/run. And that is why you're seeing them move all of those objects the way they are.
It's not a guarantee either. It's just one of those things that there's a chance that Willie will be busy moving stuff when you come back through the garden at the end of the game. But it's not 100%. It's not a 100% strategy. It's one of those things that if you have the extra time, we'll take a chance. We'll move a bunch of stuff, make a mess, and hopefully it works out in the end.
Alright, so we're seeing that both runners are attempting the faster strat, which is to have Willie chase you with the trowel so that he can rebuy his trowel instead of you chasing the boy with the plane. However, it seems that Oerny forgot a critical step of this, which is to take the groundkeeper's, which is Willie, his keys. That way he'll turn around and go back instead of pick it up like he just did there.
Looks like Oerny's going to take the backup strategy of making the kid buy his plane back instead, which is going to cost him quite a bit of time, but.
It can be a bit of a struggle to do that method because you have to chase the kid, which can be fairly difficult to do accurately and get him to actually notice the plane. And you have to place the plane perfectly as you do so.
Taz is going to get the broom break here and then go straight to the. So it's going to pick up the Viewmaster. There he goes.
This might be a good time to mention that every other AI pretty much has a progression cycle, as we call it, which is what we just saw there with the shopkeeper lady opening up the garage. She needs to do that in order to progress, and we saw that Tass had manipulated her so that she would chase him to the garage instead of slowly walking to it. All right, looks like Ernie is recovering well.
Yeah, it looks like all Ernie can do right now is wait until the this animation is done. So while Tass makes his way to the back garden, see what he gets here. Oh, a newspaper cycle. Good. Okay, there's about 3 cycles that different cycles that we call them Roger. None of these characters have names, by the way. That we give them names as the community. This is the clean, the tidy neighbor, and the messy neighbor. So, Roger here has about three different things he can start on. He can start on his newspaper, which is what you want because he can't see you directly right away. And then he has a teacup cycle. He'd be there sipping his tea, which wastes about 5 seconds. Not optimal. But another one is his teapot. If he's up behind his teapot, it wastes a significant amount of time. But that's also rare.
You also run the risk if he's on his teapot of him seeing you with an object in your mouth as you run up, which has happened to me a few times. That is killer.
Yeah, same.
And we see Ernie is now entering the back gardens area.
Looks like he's finally getting out.
An important thing of note for this entire run is that RNG is either a godsend or a run killer in this category, especially in this back gardens and pub area, which is the next section we'll be heading into.
Are you getting a newspaper cycle as well?
It looks like he's playing it safe with where he's placing the newspaper and the... Oh, notice him a little bit there. And the slipper. We notice that Taz put it behind the small little hedge. Oh, and it did not pay off for Ernie either.
No, that's not good.
Ernie does know the backup strat, though, but maybe not. Okay. So normally the backup strat would be if he notices, you take the slipper and the paper and put it back out the gate that you came in, but it looks like Ernie did not know to recover that way.
Could be in panic mode, too.
Could be, too.
Taz is coming back across with the vase here. See if he can. Yep, looks like he's good. There is a very tiny window as Roger's transitioning from just kind of sitting there with his cup to sipping his tea. There's like a small window where he could possibly see you with that vase there. You don't want that happening. We have to be aware of where he's at in his animation before we rush out to grab his last slipper.
Oh, there we go. Now we see Ernie doing the newspaper. I think that he purposely kept the newspaper so that he could re-get the slipper.
No, I hadn't thought of that. That's not a bad strategy there.
And the reason why he probably did that is because one of the required tasks one of the tasks that we do, you're required to do all but one of the tasks in each section. One of the tasks that we do is get the man barefoot. And obviously if he finds that slipper, he cannot go barefoot because he'll put it back on. So you need to keep the newspaper there so that he'll actually go back into his newspaper cycle and you can re-steal that slipper.
Tasselfoot out the back door at about a 7:08. That's a pretty decent pace. I think he's got about a 14 pace going on here. All right, Tasselfoot coming into the pub area. He killer of many runs.
Oh, absolutely. He didn't get too lucky with where pub lady was there, but also not too unlucky, so mediocre chance.
I mean the box girl. Oh, box girl. Yeah, she was a little bit close to the entrance there, which is unusual.
One of the exciting things about this run is that it has been pretty well mapped out in the past few months, so it's normally pretty close when you get runners of similar experience.
And there's another strategy that neither of these runners used in this one that we use in the high street that allows the shopkeeper to start banging on the door right away. It's a strategy that Rowan uses in his record run that some of us are starting to use to have the lower times now. Saves a few extra seconds.
I believe I tried that and I just haven't gotten it down.
Yeah, it's a very precise movement.
So what we're seeing here is Tass is doing the second part of Old Man's cycle, which is breaking the dartboard. The task that we do not do here in pub is set the table because it is incredibly slow. Typically, whenever there's a fetch quest in a game is the slowest cycle you can do, and that is true here.
Starting needing to keep the pub lady away from the sink here. It takes 21 seconds from when you hit the valve on the sink to when you're able to grab the boat. So it's a lot of time to keep the pub lady away from the upper corner.
And there's multiple reasons why we'll keep her away from there. One of them is so that she does not turn the valve back off. And another one is because you don't want her to notice where you put the boat. Because if she notices where you put the boat, she'll waste time and go and put it back where it belongs, instead of doing what she's currently doing on Tass's screen now, which is grabbing the no goose sign. And you really want her to do that because it's required to advance.
Ernie's still having problems in the back garden.
So it looks like
Roger to put his, he needs him to pick up his newspaper again so he can grab his other slippers. So just at the mercy of the cycles right now.
Although Ernie does seem to be recovering decently well here, knowing to restart Messy Neighbor's cycle there, so that she won't walk up to the top of the back gardens, which can be really bad because she'll notice her vase there, which I think she actually just did there. But I think he'll be fine at this point. Oh, this one could be interesting because now he has to loop all the way back around in order to get her to prune the prized rose.
Tasselfoot coming up on the castle now, the butt mashing portion of the run.
Pruning the prized rose can also be another squeeze moment there, where you just get it in position in time for her to do what just happened on Ernie's screen there. Alright, we got Tasselfoot starting the bell run. So the important part about the bell run is all of the NPCs we have seen so far now changed into bell mode, as I think we call it. Their main priority from now on is to get the bell out of the goose's hands, and preferably as far away from the goose as possible and put it in a certain spot. So here we can see that they're all chasing after the goose because they know it has the bell. Taz is going to be lure them all up so that he can try to outpace them here. I think he'll do so nicely. Another thing he's showing off there is called stunning. If you quickly drop and pick back up the bell, all of the AI following have a small chance of forgetting to chase the goose and deciding to slowly walk instead. And it gives you a little bit of an advantage over the AI to get ahead.
Ernie finally coming into the pub area.
All things considered, a smooth entrance, though.
Yep, a lot better than Tass got. Some good place. Tasselfoot getting some good placement with the NPCs in back garden coming back. Some good RNG there. Ernie had a little bit of an issue getting the pub lady away from him so he can grab the mug. So he had to dunk that in the canal.
Which both of them did nicely here. There is a small chance, it's odd, that you can break the mug on the leaves that you see below the bridge.
Yep, that's very frustrating when that happens. I have lost runs to that before.
Haven't we all?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Tasselfoot did not get lucky with Willie, so he will have to determine how to play with him here. Seems like a smooth recovery right through the thick of it. And he is pretty much free to return to the start now. So yeah, if you haven't gotten the gist of it yet, the whole goal of this game essentially is to grab that bell that Tass has in his mouth right now and return all the way back to the beginning of the game.
This is a really good run for Tass. This is going to be a 13.
Yeah.
Really close to maybe a 13:30 or so. 13:20 something.
Just about. I'm thinking 13:29.
This might be a PB for him.
Oh, just off. Alright, pretty smooth. His PR is currently...
no, it's not. 12:51. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Yeah, he's 12. I forgot.
No worries. And we can see Ernie is currently going about pub right now, dealing the stool so he can fall on his bum. bit unlucky there with Pub Lady noticing him, so he's gonna have to have her chase him around and try to keep her occupied and away from that valve. Unfortunately, I do think that she might end up noticing where the toy boat is if she makes it over there in time. I don't know.
Not sure it'll be that much of an issue. There's a chance that if you get everything turned off, and if it's the last task you're on, then there's a chance that she won't really care.
Another frustrating issue that can occur: the 3 characters that walk in the aisle that Ernie's in right now is Vinny, which is the guy chasing him, Pub Lady, the woman that's up top on the patio, and Box Girl, the girl that just walks around carrying boxes all day. The frustrating part is they each have different priorities. Pub Lady is at the least priority, and Box Girl is at the top, and we might be seeing it there. So yeah, Vinny just got pushed back a little bit by Box Girl, because Box Girl will push both Vinny and Pub Lady back, while Vinny can only push Pub Lady.
Uh-oh. No, okay, good.
Smooth recovery there from some bad luck.
Yeah, what happened with Vinny there is whenever he sees you run under that little crawl space there's a chance that he misinterprets that as you being up in the pub, and he'll actually run back outside and up into the pub thinking you're up there. So that's what started to happen. So he had to go back into the back room and honk again to get him back into the back room. Otherwise, that's a huge time loss.
We're going to see him try to run right by... Oop. Alright, so he went for a bit of a safer strat there, where instead of just running right by Vinny, he decided to untie his shoelace to distract him instead. That could affect his placement come bell return, though, depending on the timing of it. Alright, looks like Tass is currently going off and doing his own thing there, taking the boot with him for some reason. I think Tass might be going to show off some swag.
I think he's going to play around. Looks like he's doing an 80% run right now.
That is the fun part of this game. There's a bunch of different categories, and they each play pretty differently. This one is fairly good at showing what the game has to offer, except it doesn't really do any glitches, obviously. The best all-around one for seeing glitches while seeing a lot of gameplay would probably be all main tasks, correct?
Yeah, it'll be all AMTs. You get to see the entire main game, everything done. There are a couple of glitches. We use item clips and hovers, and yeah, you can pretty much see a bit of a nice equal match of everything.
Little unlucky there with Box Girl's placement. He seems to be recovering all right though. As we have Tasselfoot swag presenting.
Tasselfoot recently got sub 3 ice, I believe, on 80% here. So he's trying to
constantly improving, Tasselfoot. Constantly improving. It's going to be interesting to see how Ernie plays this, because he has good NPC placement. He just has to manage it well. And looks like he did, except he didn't really need to stun him there.
Sorry, it doesn't save any time, really.
Nope, not in that case.
It doesn't lose any time. It doesn't lose any time when that.
Oh, okay, yep. Come to think of it, depending on how Ernie plays this and Willy RNG, Tasselfoot and Ernie could drop the bell fairly close to each other. Another thing that I should mention is Timmy there, or the cowardly boy, will chase you when you have the bell, just like any other NPC, but being a coward, if you honk at him, he just runs away.
The easiest NPC to deal with in the bell return.
Yep. Yet one of the most annoying, depending on what strats you have to use.
Yeah. He can sometimes be a bit uncooperative in this category in the high street section.
Alright, here we have Ernie coming in, probably with, what would you say, 1850 55, 56?
Yeah, 18.5x. Most definitely.
Oh, got a little caught up there. But not bad. Congratulations to both runners there, completing the first
There we
race.
go.
Go ahead and reset and be ready for the second race of the match. This is a best of 3 match, so there's still a chance Ernie can take it here as long as he wins the next 2 in a row.
What is going on?
All right.
Okay.
Hit the next race board. All right, that should be updating soon. All right, ready to go when they are. Go ahead and start them off.
Countdown getting ready to take place.
All right.
And
And
go.
honk.
Honk. See delay here. I've seen the stream and the countdown in the Discord.
No worries though, because it should match up eventually. So the first little trick, I didn't mention it the first race. First little trick you'll see them try to do is the gate clip. And I know I just said clip, but it's not considered a glitch because it doesn't use an object to get through it. It's just abusing hitboxes and the detections. So what they're going to try to do is get their necks through the gate and twist around in such a way that it clips them or bounces them through the gate without it having to fully open. This one is fairly consistent for experienced runners, but can still offer a good amount of struggle. Like right there, you saw Tass got it in one way where he floated up and walked over the hitbox, and Ernie got hit by the hitbox and bounced back a little bit. It's not the most consistent, but
the locking pin there on the gate with Ernie was a little bit too close, so the Goose kind of wanted to angle to the left a little bit to look at the pin to pick it up. So makes it difficult, if not impossible, to squeeze through the gate at that point because you use the neck and the post as a fulcrum to rotate you around and squeeze you through. And when that happens, you really can't do it.
Doesn't look like Ernie chose the best place for placing the keys either, because he'll get kind of caught up when he notices the tulip coming up. Or maybe not, he might recover well here. Not too bad, never mind. On Tess's screen, we see Rake in the Lake going on again. A scary part that can happen is if you do not enter that thick brush that we dropped the hat in perfectly, he might stop short and notice, oh, this happening on Ernie's screen, and he'll notice that you're taking the rake. It's very unfortunate that happens. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it is a pretty significant time loss, and it's a reset point for PB runs. But, yeah, well, there we go. Here we see again that Taz is trying to manipulate where Willie will be come bell return.
As we noticed with both the runners in the last run, the causing a mess here, like we said, is not a guarantee. We saw both Tass and Ernie both that had Willie in the middle of the garden last time, so it didn't quite work out. But we do it anyway because we've got time.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of time where you're basically just waiting for Willie to get his life together and start hammering in that sign. So there's no point in not trying to do it.
There's also a chance on the return that Willie will once again be buying back his trowel, which is perfect because that ties up both the shopkeeper and Willie, and you can just run past them all and have no resistance the rest of the way.
Yep, we have not quite found a consistent way to get that to happen, but it is a godsend when it does. Ernie getting the trowel on there perfectly this time. I don't think he'll be able... Nope, he didn't get the broom break, but that is alright.
Okay, the broom's in a pretty good spot to be done.
Yep. So when it comes to that broom, you either want to break it while he's getting ready to buy back his trowel, which is ideal, or at least get it on the left side of the shop there, so that you can fight her for it, and she won't have to run to you or slowly walk any which direction. We can see Tass having a bit of trouble trying to fight her here. It's typically easier to get her to break it if you're already holding the broom. Once she starts sweeping it at you, it can be a little hard to time out exactly when to grab it. And now we have the chase to the garage door again.
Ideally, it's kind of hard to do, but when to get the broom break, you kind of want to be able to kite her up in front of where Willie stands to buy his broom back, or buy his shovel back, because that way, when you when she goes to sweep you out and you grab her broom, she's kind of blocking him a little bit, and then once the broom breaks, he's in position, and then that way you get the start of the animation to buy back, and you get the broom break. It's a bit tough to do though.
Ernie there struggling a little bit with getting the shopkeeper to close the garage door. There's a thing that can happen. If she's on the wrong side of the garage door and you close it, she will bump one way or the other. And it can be very small, like inches of difference that determines which way she goes. If she bounces back out of the garage, it can be quite a while before she opens it back up if she already has her chalk. If she doesn't, she'll open it back up immediately, but still about a, 15-20 second time loss?
Yeah, something like that.
And it looks like Tass is manipulating Tina pretty well, which is the messy neighbor on the left there. Ernie is playing it safe with his placement of the slipper and newspaper.
Doing a much better job than the previous run.
Yep. Unfortunately, Tina seems to be in lower gardens for him right now, but that is not the worst thing in the world. It's a little strange that he runs on the left there. Most of us, I think, run on the right of Roger there, but once again, if it works, it works. The only thing you don't want him to do is continue chasing you here, because it basically puts you on Oh, he got lucky there, in fact.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think Ernie, they're trying a little bit too hard. I think he's still going to come back down, because he did make it down the stairs, at the bottom of the stairs there.
Yeah, so he definitely notices that. I hope Ernie notices that and goes for it. It might be a bit of a battle for it. Can you do it?
There he goes.
There you go. That will still throw off a bit of a timing issue there, because... Oh, where's the glasses? Come to think of it. There they are. Because the next thing that you want to do is ring the bell to make him spit out his tea, which is going to take a while now, because he will not prioritize going back to the tea until he's done being confused about where you went with his hat. You can see him just sitting down now.
Meanwhile, we pull the desk drawer out to collapse the desk to keep Tina up in the top area for as long as possible, so she doesn't go down and close the gate on you.
And we also saw on Tass's side there that he used the ribbon to lure Tina where he wanted her to be faster. So no matter what, she would have ended up walking down there eventually, but what he just did there prioritized her running after the goose, noticing the gate, which is her main priority of all times. So he basically just made her go where she needed to go faster by doing that. So Ernie didn't quite do it the way that you normally want to. You want her to chase you pretty much right up to that gate so that she doesn't do the slow walk at all. In fact, there's even a chance that she'll notice, oh hey, my statue's gone, and you have to bump her to get her to reassign priority. And you notice that Tass grabbed the bra there, and the reason why we grabbed the bra there is for the same reason as last time. It makes her chase after you and get her where you want her to be faster. She would already do it eventually, but this way guarantees that she won't notice her vase broken, which is also a significant time loss when she does, because she'll sometimes go over and yell at Roger about breaking her vase.
We also grabbed the bra for another reason. Not only because it's the first one there, it's easier to grab, but if you grab a sock also, for some reason the sock slows you down a little bit. It isn't much, but it's enough to be noticeable. So the bra, while it also drags along the ground, it doesn't slow you down. So strange, but that's what we've found so far.
So Phil Trout, actually our friendly fish of the speedrunning community here, actually mentioned the reason why. And that is because the bra is considered ragdoll physics by the game, whereas the sock is a prop. So the sock has a lot of friction applied to it, and
that makes
the bra
sense.
does not. Ooh, it seems that Ernie has a bit of bad luck here. He thought that he was in the final
Oh,
phase
yeah,
of
I was wondering about that because I looked back earlier. He saw he dropped his cup on the ground when he hit the bell, and I wasn't sure if he got it or not.
Yep, so he
I
didn't get
kind of missed it.
yeah, he didn't get Roger to spit out his tea. And this could even be worse because
You
she'll
can do it right
probably
now.
notice the broken vase.
There we go. Now he's got it.
Yep, it'll still be a pretty good time loss though because he'll yell at her about the vase before actually continuing on to do the ruse.
Now Tina's going to open reset has to open reset the bell.
Yeah, he doesn't quite know how to manipulate the RNG quite yet, or the priorities quite yet.
What you'd want to do there is, he's got it figured out. Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Her priorities are the fence first, and then the squirrel hedge.
But I think she'll still prioritize getting yelled at by Roger here, so I don't think it's actually saving him any time, unfortunately. Because you'll notice that Roger is not currently.
Oh right, because Roger wants to yell about the bell first.
Yep. Meanwhile, Tasselfoot got the toy boat out, and it is out of her view. So he'll be continuing on nicely here.
Tasselfoot just kind of waiting for something to happen here.
I believe he's waiting for the old man's dart cycle. But
yeah, he's waiting for darts. I think he missed the dart cycle on the way back in.
But meanwhile, you'll notice that he's keeping Pub Lady where he wants her. That way she doesn't notice the toy boat and waste any more time than needs to be wasted. And just like that, you'll see her stomp her foot and want to continue.
Yeah.
Never mind, because he canceled the animation like a boss.
A couple ways to cancel animations. One, of course, is to honk in just the right place. Doesn't always work, especially with the shopkeeper in High Street. Doesn't always work sometimes. But
we'll also
another one is to bump into them. Bumping into this another one. It doesn't seem to work on Tina though. Tina seems to be invulnerable to those cancels.
Looking over at Ernie's screen, we also just saw an older strat that he used because the vase was already like out of the way and all that. He grabbed the paintbrush instead of the bra. In this case, it doesn't make too much of a difference, but he did it and took a more direct route there, so it works in the end.
Tasselfoot almost missing the bucket on Vinny's head. It's like he just got it on probably the first frame he was able to catch the bucket. So
getting a little unlucky with the way he ran up onto the trash can there, but he recovered quickly enough. That is a very narrow lane there.
Yeah, so it's also very easy to get bumped by Vinny as well. So there's kind of a narrow lane there from being not bumped and being caught on the left side. And if you get bumped, it's probably a solid maybe 15 seconds of time loss.
Yeah, because Vinny will chase you around and all that.
He'll start shoving you out, and you can't really outrun him either. You got to get into a position where you can undo his shoelaces and run away from him again, and make him fall over. So Tasselfoot doing honky leads again, pulling down the castle with a mighty strength.
Tass is becoming one with the Goose with his honking. And Ernie will be stealing the mug now. Luckily, Pub Lady did not notice him. Oh, but unfortunate placement for Vinny. Maybe a good recovery here. We'll see how... Oh. Not quite. So there, if he was going for that recovery method, you want to have him chase you deeper into the pub. It seems weird because you're running the wrong way, essentially. but you want him to chase you deeper into the pub so he'll fall over. Because if you run out of the pub, he'll only chase you as far as the entrance goes. And it looks like the mug broke too, unfortunately.
Oh no, did he broke the mug break on him?
Yep.
Missed it.
Oh, and now pub lady notices, so this could be quite the chase here, depending on how it works. Ooh, be quick, be quick. There you go.
It'll be okay. Sometimes I like to have pub lady chase after me. That way, that kites her away, keeps her from interfering with the water valve.
Yeah, I actually do like that because then I can comfortably balance.
That's what we used to do. That's what we used to do in both the categories in which we did this. We stopped doing it in AMT because we found a better way of doing it. But
sometimes I still like it happening. That way, I can balance doing the darts and the valve at the same time, and not have to waste time waiting for either.
But here in Glitchless, it doesn't really matter because we're not trying to prevent her from doing anything else except turn the water off. We're not collecting any of the flatware at all, so it's not that big of a deal.
Alright, Ernie has started the chase with the pub lady as Tasselfoot is going to have to manipulate Willie back out of his garden entrance, which he does smoothly. Alright, so Tass is home free now to honk away all the way back to the pit, taking it home. As we see Ernie getting his boat there.
17 seconds from the shoreline, so we're looking at a 46?
Sounds about right to me.
14, 46, or 47?
Two solid runs there by Tasselfoot.
This is about what my average is. This will push Ernie to the other brackets, and he will face Daka. And whenever that round gets scheduled. And then Tasselfoot will move on to face Rekelts in round 3. GG for Tasselfoot.
GG to Tasselfoot. Hopefully we can get the audio over to Ernie, which I think we did.
And those of you who wanted to stick around after this race, actually, Hippo and I both are racing up next here in a couple of hours.
And that should be fairly exciting. Your average is typically better than mine, but we are fairly close to each other in terms of PR on the leaderboards.
Yeah, both of us were like in the high 15s, low 16s just earlier this week, and now we're both like 13 and 14 now. So this would be my average. My average is about what Tasselfoot's is. Tasselfoot's time was right now in the mid 14s somewhere.
All right, I'm going to be pulling our winner here, Tasselfoot, into live on air now. So,
all right,
welcome Tasselfoot. Congratulations, GG honk.
Hey guys, thank you.
Tell us about what about what happened there at in the pub there in the second run. You had to wait around a bit. Did you miss the dart cycle there?
Yeah, I was not too thrilled. I thought that I could make it doing the boat and then get back in time, but I was wrong. So noted. Next time, turn the water on, do darts, and then go back for the boat.
I will be here.
One of you guys has Shatter. You have the stream on.
Hold on.
Okay, how do I sound now?
It's not about you.
Alright, sounds better now. Ooh, unfortunate luck for Ernie. This is what we were worried about earlier with Vinny's placement. He seems to be recovering all right there, untying Vinny's shoelaces, but it will still be a time loss.
Good recovery, though.
Sorry, my phone rang and just messed up the audio and everything, so.
No worries.
But yeah, I guess, I mean, the first run was good, but really bad RNG. Like 45 seconds worth of RNG time loss in that first run, and otherwise it was like a really good run. But so no complaints there. The second run, that pub was terrible, and the high street was terrible. I couldn't grab the broom.
Yeah, I noticed that she was just kept sweeping away at you, and sometimes it's hard to grab that thing.
Yeah, the whole thing was my fault, or maybe I can just blame the soccer ball. The whole thing lined up in a sequence because of the soccer ball. I went to hit Timmy's shoes, and I hit the soccer ball instead, so I had to double back to get his shoes. And because I did that, I lost control of Willie, so I had to like honk oddly to get him back, and then that messed up my timing on dealing with the shopkeeper, which meant that I didn't break the broom when I wanted to, and then that led to, not being able to grab it and the broom being in a really bad spot on the second time around. So that's what can happen in Goose Game. Like, you make one tiny little thing and it adds up to 30 seconds or a minute or more than a minute worth of time loss. It's a lot of fun. I recommend everyone try it.
It's definitely a good starter category, that's for sure, because it's not really... It's more movement and dealing with RNG and manipulation and all that, rather than glitches and figuring out hard tricks to do.
And you get to play the game too.
Yeah,
the whole
true.
game. Yeah,
More
this
than
is
3 minutes.
this is the only category that we did the bell return in. So.
True.
I know, and there's a reason for that, because the bell return is no bueno.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not fun.
Oh, we got a bit of a bike bell ring here by Ernie and Wing Flap. I think, and congratulations.
So,
There you go.
well, yeah.
There you go.
Looks like he can still PR here, maybe. Oh,
Are we gonna see? Are we gonna see
It's
credit
just-
skip? Credit skip? Oh, credit skip.
No.
You
Alright.
can actually skip the credits there if you right there at the pit there, if you select the quit out and then drop the bell, you actually quit out of the game and you get the task crossed off and you complete the game. It just doesn't see the credits. It's completely pointless. There's no time whatsoever. It's just a thing we do.
Yeah. You do it in like 100% also when you need to reset in places.
Alright.
Hello.
Now. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing
Great.
fine, even though I'm like a little bit annoyed by myself how my back garden, both of them went, but I still had fun, so that's all
Good.
that matters to me.
And also when you need to reset in places.
Alright, we got
I'm just a little bit sorry that I couldn't perform more of a fight today, because I really wanted it to be a close race, so people had like a reason to be pumped and such.
That's okay.
But it didn't work out.
That's okay. That's the whole reason this is double elimination, because that RNG can is a harsh mistress sometimes, and just have bad days, and we have another shot at it. So
That's actually true.
And luckily, you will be going on to compete anyways, now dropping to the losers bracket, but that's okay. You'll be facing Daka, I believe.
Oh, that's
Daka?
gonna be interesting.
and then Tasselfoot will face Rekelt in round 3.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Admin versus admin.
right, our 2 administrators from the speedrunning Discord.
The ultimate fight
And
for bragging
of course,
rights.
2 of our 3 administrators. I think someone is the other admin, isn't he?
He's a mod.
The mod. God, okay. 2 administrators. Well, myself and Hippocrampus will be racing here at 8 p.m. in 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. It's enough time for
Bit of
to get some
practice.
practice in, and for me to get some dinner because I haven't eaten yet.
We're basically swapping, right? Because I'm doing comms for your
Right.
guys' race. So I just fair warning for you guys. I am gonna watch the VOD before your guys' race happens. So anything bad that you guys said about me, I'm going to know about it. There may or may not be retaliation. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and make a request to SpeedGaming to delete the VOD immediately. Nah, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Quickly,
Alright, well, it
without
was good
prejudice.
talking to you guys.
To terminate the VOD with extreme prejudice.
So, Ernie, always fun to race against you. Hopefully, maybe we get to face again sometime later on in the tournament.
Oh yeah, I
Alright.
will be fighting hard, and I'll hopefully see you like down the road. I would like to give you a rematch.
Sounds good.
All right. Meanwhile, for everyone else, just wanted to see the next match. It will be on one of the alternate channels for Speed Gaming. I believe it's going to be on Speed Gaming 3. Twitch.tv/SpeedGaming3 will be the next match, I believe.
At 8 o'clock, a little over 2 hours from now.
Right. So.
Well, without further
Okay.
ado, I believe, are we all set here? Or?
That's all I've got. Thanks, Speed Gaming, for hosting this and having us on.
And thank you to
Congratulations,
everyone
Pat.
watching for enjoying some good old Goose Game with us.
Honks to everybody in the chat. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you in a couple of hours.
Honk
See you
honk.
guys later.
Honk honk.